Hello, everybody. My name is Michael. You know me as Coding Jungle, and today I want to talk about an issue that's been brought to my attention in Babel and a solution that I think will work for a lot of people. I know it's something I wanted to keep, but at the same time, when I was developing 2.8, I had also set out a guideline to try to move as much custom stuff that I could back to the IPS core, so Babel would more easily integrate into um, IPS. And one of those changes was the editor and uploads and all that. So it has for me, it has a more consistent feel with the rest of the suite. Even though this was at one point a very popular thing that a lot of people wanted to see in Babel was the editor. Well, when I put it in, um, well, it was weird because it I had very negative reactions to the editor and the change, and I didn't understand why. Because I thought that's what people wanted. I either misunderstood or the people that were complaining about not having the editor weren't able to convey to me why they thought the editor was important or what they were missing from the editor that the previous editor that I had in there wasn't capable of meeting the expectations or whatever. Well, so the issue that's new, well, it's not new, but it's been there for a while, is image sizes. Now, this image is pretty big. It's a desktop wallpaper. It's a Borderlands 3 if you're curious. Um, it's a pretty big image. It's meant to fit a 2K resolution monitor. And so that's the size of the image. It's pretty big. The whatever this thing's called, I forget what it's called. I'm horrible with names. But you know, this deal, that opens up the images and whatnot. Um, this, it does a pretty good job at resizing it, but there's no resizing going on. Well, if I was to say shrink the screen, it should resize in theory. I mean, because the IPS stuff does a pretty good job of resizing, but the problem is they only resize on the width. They don't resize on the height. Well, the old thing in Babel that a lot of people either miss or they like better was that it would resize based on the viewport of the chat area. Well, it doesn't do it anymore because I left it up to IPS, and apparently they dropped the ball, or I dropped the ball, one of the two. I don't know. I mean, I'll let you decide. But anyway, my solution to fix this issue, and hopefully any issue moving forward with the images, is I've made it a option to restore the old, what I used to call the lazy load in mine, because their lazy load, don't get me started on it, but um, isn't cutting it in my opinion. It's loading the images just fine, and that's great. But the problem is, in my opinion, is it doesn't take into height restriction of the viewport into consideration like mine used to. So basically, I've added it back in, but this time it's an option, so you can go and turn it on or turn it off depending on whatever you like. So we go and save this. As you can see, I've already uploaded one image, and there's a couple text messages behind it. If I was to attach another image, right now it would do the lazy load that I used to do. So that's already there. Now if I refresh, it's going to convert that one over. And if I click on it, as you can see, it's resized it pretty good. It tries to take into account this area here that's in blue, that for the text area, for the message area. It tries to take the not only just the width but the height, and then it tries to maintain the aspect ratio of the image itself. So if I was to upload some more images, let's just say let's do all four of these: the two Borderlands, the BSG, and my my superhero cat there with his glowing green eyes. So we're going to upload all those. And we're going to send it. And as you can see, it added 4 of them. And it added them, so you can click on each individual one and see them, and the light box thing still works. So you close them back out if you want to. But it's not, it tries to preserve the message area as best it can. With so if people want to see the image, they have to load it, and it just doesn't work with upload. So if I was to come over here and copy the image address of this and put it directly into the editor, which will see that it's an image and convert it over to an image tag, and I send it, it grabs that one as well and puts it in the own little box, so it doesn't. So it's, I guess you could say it's not disruptive to the chat in general. Hopefully, since it's a setting this time, it can appease both sides. The people who like it the way it is now, and then for people who liked it the old way, or don't necessarily like the old way, but think it's better than the new way. If you have any ideas, hopefully I can try to accommodate you guys. So just let me know. Hopefully I'll have the update out in a couple days. I need to test this to make sure it's working, because it's using PHP query. It could do some funky things that I'm not aware of yet. Maybe some load issues or something. So I'm gonna have to test this out a little bit further, and hopefully I can get this out to you soon. All right, you guys have a good night.